Why self-assessment of our life's quality is unreliable. Most people deny the fact that their life, all things considered, is bad. In fact, most people think that their lives go quite well. This widespread, superficial self-assessment makes people to deny the fact that not existing is better than existing. How can life be bad if most of those who live it strongly deny that it is bad? How can it be harmful to come into existence if most of those who have come into existence are very pleased and grateful that they are born? Let us look at the compelling reasons to doubt this widespread notion. There are a number of well-known features of human psychology that explains why a person might think their quality of life is good, whereas in reality it might not be so. The most influential phenomenon is what the psychologists call as the Pollyanna principle. It is a tendency towards optimism. This manifests in many ways. First, there is an inclination to recall positive rather than negative experiences. For example, when asked to recall events from throughout their lives, subjects in a number of studies listed a much greater number of positive than negative experiences. This selective recall distorts our judgment of how well our lives have gone so far. It is not only assessments of our past that are biased, but also our projections or expectations about the future. We tend to have an exaggerated view of how good things will be. Many studies have consistently shown that self-assessments of well-being is remarkably skewed towards the positive end of the spectrum. For instance, very few people describe themselves as not too happy. Instead, the overwhelming majority claims to be either pretty happy or very happy. Indeed, most people believe that they are better off than most others or than the average person. According to some studies, the handicapped and retarded have just as much life satisfaction as normal persons, and within any given country, the poor are nearly as happy as the rich, just because of optimism. We can clearly notice that everywhere there is a tendency towards optimism. What varies is just the degree of optimism. Apart from the Pollyanna principle, another well-known psychological phenomenon that makes our self-assessments of well-being unreliable is the phenomenon of adaptation or habituation. When a person's objective well-being takes a turn for the worse, there is at first a significant subjective dissatisfaction. However, there is a tendency then to adapt to the new situation and to adjust one's expectations accordingly. The third psychological factor that affects self-assessments of well-being is an implicit comparison with the well-being of others. Thus, self-assessments are a better indicator of the comparative rather than actual quality of one's life. One effect of this is that those negative features of life that are shared by everybody are inert in people's judgment about their own well-being. Since these features are very relevant, overlooking them leads to unreliable judgments.